Okay, awesome. We are recording. So I am going to talk first tonight and do a little bit of a training, and then I'm going to bop it over to Courtney, who's going to finish us off for the night, and we'll be good to go. So what I'm talking about tonight is not something I think I've really, I don't know the word, like spelled out for everybody, but I had a conversation with one of my promoters last night who's fairly new, and I'm not like calling her out by any means, but we had a conversation and it kind of opened my eyes up to what other people may be struggling with and how I can help to guide others. And that's why I always say that there is never a stupid question. There is never anything, like if you feel in your heart that you want to ever ask a leader something, or you need guidance or support in any area of this business, always ask, because that small conversation with her is now leading for me to be able to pour into all of you guys about this. And the way that it kind of made my brain start going is, and I began to think about it, and I talked to Courtney about it earlier, is, I think that we all look at the big picture, which is what you have to do in this industry. You have to believe in a lot in this industry before you see the results. You have to believe in what's going to happen before it happens. And that's why a lot of people don't have the mindset for this. But I also think that there's a flip side to it, where you do have to focus on what you're producing here and now. Because if you lay out residual income and what that means, it's all the little things. It's the small enrollments that you're consistently doing that pile up. So I was having the conversation with my girl last night, and we were talking, and, she asked me, what am I missing? What is the missing piece? What am I doing wrong? What aspect of everything from my posting to me in conversations with people am I missing? And I think it's very important that we look into that and you focus daily on all the parts that go into this business, because it's a lot of little things that add up. And this might not be something everybody agrees with, but I truly do think that if you are continually working on these things, it is absolutely possible. Even if it's just enroll one person a week. I think that is absolutely possible for anybody if you master working on these things and understanding what needs to be tweaked. It's being comfortable enough to look yourself in the mirror and say, okay, what do I need to change? What is not producing results? Because if you're growing in all of these areas and you're doing in them in a way that's working for you, you'd be enrolling people, right? So if people aren't getting in the computer, we have to find the missing piece. And that's kind of what I did with her. I went down a checklist. I was like, all right, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this. And we went through it, Molly, and we realized for her, that specific person, she was having trouble in the conversations closing them. But we went down a whole laundry list of things. So I'm going to go through that list with you. And if you're not getting people in the system, this is what I want you to look at and maybe pick out, okay, hey, I could improve on that, or this part of it's not working for me. Or maybe just like her, I'm getting people in conversations, but why are they not signing up and learning to work on these different areas? I have the hiccups. I've been eating healthy and it's not working for me. My body craves like nachos. So I'm unhappy right now. But anyway, so the first thing that I want to talk about, I labeled it, what is the missing factor? Because if you can tweak these things and you can figure out what you're lacking in and get on a level playing field with all of these, you can produce an enrollment a week. And that is exactly what leads up to residual income. You enrolling somebody, you teaching them how to do the same thing, them teaching somebody how to do the same thing. And if you can get that duplication down, you look up in a year to 2 years, and that's when you have residual income. So the first thing that I put on here for the missing factor is consistency. And I know that you guys hear this all the dang time, but it is so true. It is just like a diet. It is just like anything that you work on in your life. If you only want to work on it 2 days a week, and then you want to eat like crap for 5, like you're not going to lose weight. You know what I mean? If you only want to go to the gym 1 day a week, you're not going to get to the results you want. So are you truly staying consistent 7 days a week? And when I made that accountability post today, I wanted to do that to show you guys that you don't have to spend all day in your phone to produce results or to be consistent. You don't have to. And I think that people might get overwhelmed. They're like, oh, well, I don't have time for that, and I can't do that, and that's not going to fit in. I listed off on that post everything I had done that morning, and I had only been up for an hour. I slept in until 10:30. I got up and I did my church stuff, and then I worked, and by noon, I felt accomplished and I felt good. So are you truly 7 days a week completing those IPAs? It's not always fun. You don't always want to do it, but are you actually sticking to it? And whether it's your personal branding, you sharing yourself every single day, people aren't going to be connected to you if you fall off and you stop posting. I have so many people message me all the time. They're like, every single day, like, I wait to see what you're going to post. So imagine if I just stopped posting for 4 days, they'd be like, oh, well, maybe, you know, that's not somebody I want to look up to, or okay, and then they move on to the next. And it's the same thing with the products. If you're sharing yourself doing your 3-step, you know, on your Instagram story in the morning, and then you stop after 2 days, but they were interested, but then somebody else does it, they're going to go to that person and purchase. So it's consistency and sharing you and sharing your life every single day and getting those IPAs done. And you have to be real about that. I read when I was doing my self-development today in the book I'm doing, a lot about the disconnect between our head and our heart, that we can be so committed to something and like, yes, I'm doing it, I'm doing this and that, I have these goals, but it's not actually translating. You're not actually holding yourself accountable. You have all these things you want to do, but the connection's not there to where you're actually producing those things every single day. So check yourself with your consistency and know that that part of it does take time. You need to be consistently for people to notice, for people to begin, like, people know my routine. If you follow me on Instagram, you know what I do every day. You know that I wake up and I do my 3-step and I'm in my pantry making shakes and a ratty t-shirt and no bra. And you know that then I'm doing my self-development. Like, you know what goes on because I share it consistently and other people see that too. So consistency is huge. The other missing factor could be your network and your audience. So who are you friends with? You know, who is on your Facebook? And I talk to my team about this all the time. I don't like crappy people all over my newsfeed. And that's not me judging somebody, but like I always say, if you're talking about your baby mama drama and like all this stuff, or like just drama, I'm probably going to unfriend you. So I work hard to make sure that the people in front of me and the people that I'm growing my network to, the people that I'm adding on, are people that are just like me, that have, maybe they're not in network marketing and they're not working to build an income right now, but they still have goals. You know, they're still family oriented. They still have their faith. They still care about certain things. They still share uplifting posts. You know, you don't have to be in this industry to do those things. So you have to see who is in front of you. You know what I mean? If it's everybody that you're talking to is like, oh my God, no, that's so expensive. Like, okay, maybe you don't have the right crowd in front of you. You know what I mean? For a while, I was talking to a lot of girls that were in like just starting college in the area that I was in. And I realized for me, that was not my market. You know, they did not have extra money to spend. Their mindset wasn't there. They were still partying. Like, they weren't at that point in their life yet where they were ready for this. So I had to think, okay, because I'm in that weird between where like, I'm not a mom, but like, I'm not in college. Like, where do I belong? So you have to find people that are similar to you and that you can truly connect with. If you're adding people that have nothing to do with you, have none of the same similar interests, like nada, they're not going to connect to your posts. They're not going to be in your inbox asking what shake you're taking in the morning because they have no connection to you. So really focus on cleaning out people that don't need to be there or that are negative or drama or anything like that. And just focus on people that you could truly connect with. If you were in a room, would you be friends with them? You know, would you guys be able to talk casually? Yes or no? You know what I mean? And I share this all the time, but I see Kendra sitting there. She's my lady at the post office. And I love her. And we talked for a year and then she signed up, but we genuinely talked here and there. Every time I went in, we had a conversation and we got along and we were friends. And that's what led to it. But, you know, the other people there, I love them to death, but like I didn't connect with them like I connected with Kendra. Because maybe they were older than me, maybe they were males, you know what I mean? You have to be with the right people, if that makes sense. So check your audience. You could be putting all this content out to the wrong network, you know, and that's not going to produce results for you. So that's something else that could be missing. So you have your consistency and you have your audience. And it's all about, I wrote connectability, but I don't think that's a word. Connectivity. It's not a word. It's fine. Connecting with people and the quality of the people there. So if you wouldn't be friends with them, it's that whole thing, like you are your 5 friends that are closest to you. Be surrounded by good people. Be surrounded by people that inspire you, even if they're not in a business yet. Okay, the next thing is the content you're putting out and the way that your page looks. And I know that like we talk about the pretty factor all the time and not everybody agrees, and it doesn't have to be picture perfect. I put up messy selfies like this. I take funny videos of my dogs and you can see my dirty dishes in the background. Like I'm me. I do lives and I look just like this and I don't care. But when you go to my page, it is still presentable and you can still tell that I put effort into it. And it's something that attracts people in. So checking, even just looking at your feature, your cover photo and your featured photos and your profile picture, tell me what you get. You know, even when you have people add you, you know immediately if it's somebody that's going to try to sell you something. You know what I mean? Like we just have those senses where you know. So does your page look like that? Does it give that vibe off? Or do people automatically see who you are? And I tie that in together. I talked about this. I think it was a training in my team page. When I'm growing my network and I'm adding people that are similar to me, the second they look at my page, they know how they're connected to me. They know why I added them. Let's say they are a dog mom too. It says fur mom in my bio. Say that they are engaged. It says future miss in my bio. Say that they are from somewhere in Oklahoma. It says Edmond, Oklahoma in my bio because that's where I live. They see all these things and they're like, oh, that's why she added me. That's our thing in common. So are you sharing, you know, your kids and your family? And it doesn't have to be specifically perfectly edited, but make it look nice, you know? And if people aren't accepting your friend requests, if they're not following you back, if that's not happening, that's when you need to check the image that you're putting out. Are you taking pride in the content that you're producing and making it look appealing to people? It's your resume, it's your magazine, it's everything right there. You have to present that in a way with effort. And if you're not doing that, that may be why, like I said, people aren't following you back. And I hate to get into like the nitty gritty specifics, but like if you have 400 followers on Instagram and you're following 7,000, like we need to work on that. We need to download, unfollow, mass unfollow, whatever that app is I use, and unfollow it. And it sucks that that's how people judge Instagrams, but it is. And this is a business, so I'm going to treat it as a business. So I make sure that either, you know, you're following the same as following you or more following you. So check what people see directly when they look at your page. And is it drawing them in? Is it showing that you're a real person, or do they think you're going to sell them something? So that's another piece of the missing factor. What are you putting out there? What does it look like? And what is your content? You know what I mean? What are you sharing? I tried to do today as a really good example so that I could speak about it. When I woke up today, I shared myself taking my capsules. I shared what stood out to me in my self-development. So in my book, I highlighted it because every time I do that, whether it's my devotional or book, I always get somebody that messages me and they're like, thank you so much. I needed that. Sorry, that's going off. So I shared that. I did an unfold story with a poll because that's business and I still run a business, but I showed myself watching Law & Order. I showed my dog, you know, and I made this morning, I did a post with an inspirational quote. And then I did a picture of my dogs. And then tonight I did one that was more business oriented, but still shared who I was. So I'm covering all the bases. And that's what I wanted to show you. What content are you putting out? Is it just product, or, you know, business, bonus, this and this, free to run over and over and over? Or when they go and scroll through your first 10 posts, do they honestly get a feel for who you are? So focus on that. And that always evolves too. And that's what I want to bump this into, is how I always say to treat this as a skill set and to have continual growth. One of the reasons, and I'm going to answer these questions right when I'm done because I can't multitask. One of the reasons why people message me and say they're inspired, or, you know, I helped them that day, or I did this and that, it's not because of what's in my bank account. It's because they've watched me for the past year and a half. And they can tell that I'm a completely different person, mindset-wise. They can tell in my confidence. They can tell in how I think. They can tell in how I present myself. They can tell that I've been growing because they've been watching me grow. So are you truly growing this, as a skill set, which I'll touch on in 1 second, but just your personal growth so that people can notice that. That alone is inspiring to people. That alone. Take away the dollar amounts, take away everything. If you can be somebody that people see taking strides to better themselves, they are attracted to that. People want to be surrounded by driven people, motivated people, people that have their crap together. And it doesn't have to be what's in your bank account. It doesn't have to be that you're a rank. It's that every single day they see you show up. They see that you're reading a book because you're working on yourself. They see that you're taking your products because you care about your health. You know what I mean? They see these things and they've watched me over the past year and a half in this company grow. The way I have talked changed. The way I am in live has changed, and they've seen me grow. So that alone inspires them and gets them in my inbox because people crave that. They crave change. They crave up-leveling. They crave all those things. And I think that we sometimes forget that outside of this industry, this whole self-development thing, like, isn't really a thing. A lot of people don't have that. They don't understand that they're supposed to care for themselves and work on themselves and do X, Y, and Z. So making sure that, you're doing that self-development side of it and you're sharing as you're growing and the things you're realizing and the things that have impacted you, people notice that and they're attracted to that. But on the other growth side of that is your skill set. Are you evolving with Facebook and Instagram and how they change things? Are you using the watch parties because that's what the algorithm wants right now? Are you using polls on your story? Are you listening to podcasts about, personal branding and social media marketing? And are you treating this as a skill set? And a lot of my skill set growth has been in the way that I talk to people. And that has a lot to do with conversations, which I'm going to lead into right now. I have gotten very good at having conversations. That doesn't mean that I'm using a script or that I'm saying a certain thing to every single person. It means that once somebody is in my inbox, I will get them in the computer. Whether it's today or tomorrow or in a week when they get paid, I will get them in the computer because I have mastered how to connect with people and talk to people. And that doesn't come overnight. That takes so much time. And if I went back and listened to a voice message from a year and a half ago, which I will never do because I'm not about to embarrass myself like that, I would be mortified. But I think that if you don't have that, you're not growing enough. If you don't look back from 6 months and you're like, oh my God, that's embarrassing, you're not growing enough. So I've mastered how to have conversations with people. And my girl that I was talking to last night, that's what it was about with her. She was rocking the social media. She was being consistent. She's like, yeah, I've talked to like 10 people and nobody signed. I'm like, okay, that's what we need to focus on. Walk me through your conversations. How are you talking to people? And today I took her under my wing and I said, anytime somebody messages you, I want you to send it to me. I was like, this might seem daunting. It may seem like I'm babying you. I said, but just listen to me for one day of how I would respond. I said, I'm going to voice message you back. I said, and you're going to have to voice message them. So it's going to have to sound like you. You're going to have to get peppy, like put on an extra patch. I don't care what you have to do, but you're going to be yourself, but you're going to use what I'm saying as a guide because I know how when somebody comes into my inbox, well, let's say it's about the products. I know how to explain the products professionally and give them the information they're looking at while still being myself and having my personality and having fun with it. Yes, you hear my dog barking in the background. Yes, you hear Travis yelling about something because he's very loud. And you hear me coughing or I'm panting because when I voice message, I pace and then I'm literally out of breath. No, I didn't run a marathon. I get highly out of breath. And I have that personality in it and I'm laughing and I'm having fun. But the way that I'm talking to them, when they're asking about the products, when they're asking about the business, I know what I'm talking about and I'm confident in it. And that's what seals the deal. And that sense of urgency in those conversations, I'm not going to let a conversation just flutter off. I'm not going to do oh yeah, we'll just, check out the website and let me know. I don't do that. I am in charge of this. I am a salesperson in that moment, and you better bet your bottom dollar I'm going to get them in the computer. So look at your conversations with people and see if that's where you need help. Is that where you're losing them? Do you have somebody, interested in a sample, or they want to try the white labels, or, they really want to promote and they want to make more money, but then you kind of lose them in the conversation. Look at that. Reach out to your enroller. And even if they don't know, have them reach out to their enroller and their enroller as far as you need it to go to get that down. And the more that you practice those conversations every day with people, it's going to help. I don't want to voice message people all day long. Like I said, I get out of breath really easily. And if I spend from probably 8 a.m. to noon circling this kitchen island, voice messaging all morning. My rings are closed by noon all morning because that's all I do. And I voice message people to answer my messages. And it's not always fun, but the enrollments lie in the conversations. And I'm always going to show up and be me. I'm going to relate to them. I'm going to ask them about them. Why do you want this? How do you feel? What results do you want? Have you been in network marketing before? What was your experience? And then I'm going to talk to them and relate. And that conversation is going to end with them signing up. So look at your conversations and see if that's where you are losing people. So if you take all of this, okay, if you take your consistency, if you take the audience that's in front of you, maybe it's just too small. Maybe you don't have enough people in front of you. You need to be consistently adding quality people. Maybe it's the wrong people. Don't be afraid to delete. I delete all the time. I delete 4 people a day and I have no shame in it. Clear it out, get some new people in. The content you're producing, always be growing, always be sharing it, always put effort into your posting, into your lives, into what you're doing. And then be continually growing your skill set and your mindset, and then learn how to master those conversations. And if you can put effort into all of those things collectively together, I am telling you, it is possible to get an enrollment a week. There's no doubt in my mind that you can do that once you begin to master those things. They don't have to be perfect. They're always going to keep growing. But the second you start up leveling on one of those or two of those, or maybe you need to work on three, whatever it could be, you will start getting people in the system. I can promise you that. And don't be afraid to reach out to your enroller and say, okay, this is what I'm struggling with. I can't talk to people to save my life. I don't know what the hell to post. Does my profile look spammy? I don't know. How do you follow people? Like, don't be afraid to ask those questions and let us pour into you. So that was my, what is the missing factor? I'm going to quickly go through these questions and then I'm going to send it to Courtney. Hold on. Do you share the 3 steps every single day on your story? It makes me nervous because I don't want to lose followers on social. Yes, I do, but I'm not like pouring my shake pitching them. You know what I mean? Like whether I was in a company or not, I could do that. Like I'm not like sitting there, I'm like, oh, well, it does X, Y, and Z for you. And it's, you know, $44 and you need to buy it and I can give you a discount. It's literally just a hands-free video of me like pouring it in and doing it. I was like, I'm just showing that I'm showing up for my health that morning. You know what I mean? So yes, I share it every single day. And then, you know, when I did my poll on the 3-day white label samples with the other 2 steps, people were interested because I hadn't put a sample post up in a while, but for 2 weeks straight, they'd watched me do my 3-step and then they watch me take my circulate and then they watch me go kill a workout I don't want to do. And it inspires them. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I wish I had enough energy to go work out right now. It's little things like that that will get them in your inbox. So I don't feel salesy because I don't make it salesy and I'm not afraid to lose. I mean, I lose followers every day. That's part of the industry too. Don't be offended by that. I just follow more people. I usually do an unfollow, but I should start deleting so I can make room for what I'm wanting. Very good. Yes. And I think that that's something that we don't always put as a priority. Like, and it's not that I have like a checklist or you need this amazing resume, but like, I want to work with women that are inspired and are dedicated and have a work ethic and want more. Like, I don't want these like floofy people that like, oh yeah, I kind of want to join. I don't even like finish those conversations. Like I want quality people in front of me that I know that I can impact and help because they want it just as bad. So it's like you're vetting people, you know, like, would you swipe left or right? If so, delete them. You know what I mean? Vet them. I know that I have the wrong audience. I'm in front of those who don't have an interest in upgrading their health. So that's what you need to focus on then. And it's not like every person I add, like I know wants to upgrade their health or their wealth. That sounded cheesy. But I know that I can connect with them and I know that they're my kind of people. You know, I know that I will get along with them. And if you have X, Y, and Z in common, you know, there's a chance they're going to want to have more energy or want more money. You know, like who doesn't want that? You know what I mean? Like, I think that's kind of universal. How do you weed out the people that you do not want to be in your crowd? If I'm like offended by something on my timeline or I'm like, oh my God, my mom would kill me if I posted that on Facebook, I delete it. Like I delete them. If it's drama, I delete them. If they're like taking screenshots of their boyfriend that did X, Y, and Z and they're tagging the girl, I delete them. Like it's not, and I had to weed a lot of people out that I went to high school with and that I went to college with because of that, because not everybody is on this growth journey. And like, that's totally fine if that's like what you want to do and how you want to spend your time, but, and just, I'm not about it. I delete people that, I don't know, just like, not that I'm not inappropriate, like I'm a highly inappropriate person. I curse, like I'm way out there. I'm not reserved. I'm not vanilla by any means, but like, I also don't share everything on my Facebook. You know what I mean? Like you just know, like, is it somebody you could be friends with? Is it somebody that would be good in your business? Yes or no? Like, can you honestly connect with them? If they're posting trash, probably can't connect with them. So I would work to weed them out. And you find the correct crowd by finding people that have things in common with you, you know, and yes, I'll add some people that maybe you're a fur mom or maybe you're planning a wedding too. And it turns out they're not my kind of people and that's fine. And I delete them, but it's trial and error. And really, I think that a lot of times you can honestly tell by the appearance of their social media what they're going to be about. If they put effort into their social media and it looks great and like they have a preset or like they have a inspirational quote and they're not even in network marketing yet, like absolutely. You know what I mean? Like they get it. And they are working, you know, to present something and they care. Like before I did a network marketing business, I was still on Instagram. I still cared what my Instagram looked like. I still put effort into it. I had fun with it. So I think that can also show you a lot just by what they're posting. I added this girl with 2 kids and she messaged me asking who I am and why I added her. I told her the truth. I told her I added you because I saw you're a mom of 2 and so am I. And she was perfectly happy with that because she's wanting to make friends. Exactly. And I think intentions is a big thing of it. If you truly in your head are like, oh, I'm just going to add this person because she's going to sign up with me, like, it's not going to work. Like when I add people, it's because I know I can genuinely get along with them and we can have a relationship outside of this. Do you always stay following the people that follow you back? If like they're the kind of people I want to follow, yes, but I don't follow somebody back just because they followed me if like it's not the kind of content I'm interested in searching for or looking at. I'm new and I've only used social media to stay connected with friends and family, so I'm struggling to make the shift to go public and add new people I don't know in real life. Does that make sense? Yes. I think it's highly uncomfortable in the beginning, and it's weird, and it's an odd concept that we build online, and like, I don't like have never met like almost all of you in real life. Like that's kind of weird. You're sitting in my kitchen, but it's a business. And so I think that that's when I started to add people. That's what I had to tell myself. I'm like, this is uncomfortable, but like it's my business and it's part of my growth and it's something I need to do. And it's uncomfortable for a little bit, but then you get used to it. Like I love adding new people now. Rachel Hollis says, if you're the most driven person in your circle, you're in the wrong circle. Yes, I love that. Is there a quick way to remove Facebook friends like there's an unfollowing for Instagram? I honestly have never found one, so no. Somebody asked what a watch party is. It is a new live video feature on Facebook that you should be using. When I didn't know what it was, I literally searched on YouTube, what is a watch party? And they tell you exactly what to do and tell you why it's beneficial. I have a lot of conversations throughout my day. I build relationships. However, it doesn't turn into business, and I don't want to bring it up because I don't want them to feel like they are just sales. Any tips? Consistency. Keep going. I've had people that have responded to my stories, been in my inbox, like, and we've talked about everything under the sun, from the freaking Bible I read to the what I had for dinner. You know, we've talked about everything, and then a year later, they'll message me. Like I had a girl message me tonight that had asked the slightest question about the business last May. And then just messaged me and she's like, hey, can you text me? Do you still have my number? And she wants to sign up. So it's the consistency with that part, that don't feel like you need to place it on them or force it or like have those vibes. Truly enjoy the friendship with them and enjoy connecting with them daily. It will lead to it if you stay consistent with that. Okay, so we need help with conversation. That's what we're seeing. Maybe I can do a training on that next week. I'm so lost of the kind of things to post. I'm boring right now because of my broken leg. See, if that was me, I would make like funny jokes about my broken leg and like show you how many weird places I could like fit into in my house with like have fun with it. You know what I mean? Like you can do weird, funny things that people will connect with. And also use the time to like dig in. When I can't think of content, I search on YouTube for an inspirational video, or I put my phone down and I read my book, or I go on Pinterest, and that normally like jogs something for me. How do you not get people's convos lost in Messenger? I do. I need to work on that. If it's like somebody that I'm sealing the deal with and they have a date, I write them down. But other than that, every morning and every night before I stop working or I start working, I just scroll down to like where I have new messages and try to make sure that I've connected with everybody. Is the list consistency, network, audience, content? Yes. And then your skill set and mindset growth. This is taking forever, Courtney. I'm so sorry. Trying to talk fast. It always kills me when I see promoters of many different companies that are posting that kind of drama. Yes, I will even unfollow people in other MLMs where I'm like, this is bad for your business. Like you need to stop. And it's not that like their business is their whole life, but like still, you know what I mean? Like have a filter, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna let you go and then I'll get back to any of these questions at the end, or you can finish them. Oh, because I need to go.
So I'm gonna finish them, and so like no one else asks a question for a hot minute, and then I'm gonna get into this, and then y'all can ask questions again. When someone responds to a business poll, more specifically samples, so to me, are we talking about business or are we talking about samples? Because that to me is different. if someone wants samples, I'm just like straight up, hey girl, awesome. Do you have Venmo or PayPal? Assume the sell. Be confident in your conversation. If someone wants to know more about the business side, I will straight up send a voice memo and I'm like, hey girl, tell me about yourself. Why would you want to do this business? That will let me know if they're like, I don't know, what do you do? Or if they're like, well, they're 9 times out of 10, well, I've seen people working online before, and get them to be the ones talking. They will tell you everything you need to know if you will close your mouth and let them talk. And I'm not saying that at anyone. I have to remind myself of that too. I'm like, shut up, Courtney, shut up. Like, let them talk. They'll tell you everything. They'll tell you why they can't sign up, when they're going to sign up, what they want to do with the money. Like, they will tell you everything you need to know. Do I reach out to people who have messaged me in the past and then dropped off? No. On Instagram, oh yes, to the girl with the leg. Yeah, dude, you have a broken leg. Like, you can post so much funny shit with that. Like, how do you pee? How do you shower? How do you cook? Like, there are are you married? Like, what are you doing with a broken leg? Like, there's so many funny things you could post about with that. That's freaking amazing. My days feel very compact lately with my kids. Okay, I'm going to talk about that. So if there's no charting, how do I keep up with all the girls? Okay, we'll talk about that too. So I'm going to be all over the place because I wrote down some notes because that was awesome. And then I had some stuff that I talked to and my team about that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I don't keep up with people. That's not my job. I view my last company as a daycare where everyone grabbed a hold of the safety rope. And if someone was missing from a Zoom or someone was missing from getting to 400, alert 911. I don't know. Like, it's your business. I don't know who's on this Zoom right now, and I don't mean that rude, and it's not because I don't care. I'm here because I care, right? That shows you that I care. Me and Em brainstormed earlier today because we care about you. If someone's not on here or somebody's not working the business, it's because they don't care. No one's ever going to want this business more than they want it for themselves. And I had to get over that with my last company. Like, straight up, I was on a Zoom with one of my girls, Taylor, and her potentials. And I'm like, Taylor, do you get on the Zooms? And she just looked at me. I'm like, I don't know. There's like 100 people. I'm in the moment. I do my thing and then I go grind. And I, that's my mentality. I am here to serve, be a servant leader. And if you show up and you want to eat at my table, let's go. Right. And that's M's mindset too. Now, if you're like a top enroller and it's not because of a number, it's because I know you, we talk, and then you like ghosted, yeah, I'm gonna like call your husband and be like, are you okay? Are you alive? But as far as managing you or going, like, I cannot look at anyone on my team right now and go, well, she's enrolled 7 people and no, I don't do that, right? Everyone's important to me. So I don't have business cards, right? Some of you might. I don't. My goal was to get to the top of the company with no swag, no gear, no business cards. So the reason I'm telling you that is I add everyone to Facebook. My Uber drivers, whenever I used to drink a lot and I was at the bar, I'd come home with 16 new friends on Facebook, right? Like, I'm always adding people to Facebook. To me, it's as weird as you make it. And it's not weird after a while. The girl that did my hair, she's like, can I take a picture of you? I'm like, only if you put it on Instagram and tag me. Well, guess what? We're friends on Instagram now. The girl hashtagged thriving through life because I told her I did thrive. I'm like, what, like, do you want to work with me? You know what I mean? Like, you just set that precedent for people. You are a content collector, right? Like, I think about it, like, if you have a kid that loves ladybugs and everywhere they go in a store or here or there, they're like, there's ladybugs. I'm a content collector. Ask Katie at Albie and Kate Spade, and I'm like, hey, that quote's really cool. Let's take a picture of it. Or I was eating breakfast with my friend the other day and I'm like, there's 3 quotes on that menu. You are a content collector. And once you realize that, you'll know what you're looking for. You'll take pictures of it everywhere you go. Why? Because you're looking for inspiration to share with your audience. You'll never, ever utter the words, I'm boring, I don't know what to post. You're collecting stuff all day, every day. Y'all, the Grandy's commercial. Have y'all seen the Grandy's commercial? It's talking about whenever quality increases, the cost goes down and vice versa. and it made me think of our business. And I'm like, oh yeah, because like our products are expensive, but we might not sell as many, but like our sales are more. And I'm like, I'm constantly collecting random things in my brain to share with y'all that inspire me. That's got to be how you view this industry. When you know your audience, you'll know what to post. So I appreciate that Emma said the thing about money right as I posted something about money from my phone on mute. But here's the thing. I know there's a girl, and here's why I posted it, because I think it's cool that Emma and I have made over $1 million together. I mean, it's kind of cool. That's not why someone's going to join us, but here's why. I talked to a mom today. She had a baby. She was a manager for a grocery store. She was making a lot of money. She doesn't want to go back to work. So some people may see that post and be like, oh, Courtney thinks she's cool. Nope. I'm trying to tug at that mom's heartstrings and saying you can make a shit ton of money here too and be home with your kid. So no, if you know your audience, you'll know exactly what you're posting next. That goes right into what I talked to my team about today. What are your goals? And I'm going to be super transparent. Some of my girls say my goal is that I go live 5 times a week. That's not a goal. My goal is that I post every day. I send happy birthday. Those are not goals. Those are action steps to support your goals. They're super important. I want to talk to you about why you need long-term goals, short-term goals, and action steps, and why they're all different and they're all critical to your success. If you have a goal written down with no action steps, you are going to feel like a failure. Let me tell you why. I'm going to read them to you. On my mirror right now, it says that my goals, right, because these are my goals, are that I'm going to have $1 million a month team. Not close, no big deal, right? But if I'm judging myself, have I hit my goal or not? Nope. Then I'm going to have 5 strong 200Ks, that we're going to have 10,000 team members, that I'm going to have 20,000 customers. I'm going to see my grandmother weekly, and I'm going to volunteer for a lady named Kelsey. Those are my vision. That is my vision for my perfect life that I look in the mirror at every single day. Can I measure my success every day off of those goals? No, I'd be a failure every day. Fail, right? That's my vision. That's like my mission for this year. What are my goals? My goals are small goals where I can measure my success. Yes, I understand people are not numbers. Yes, I understand I shouldn't wake up and go, I need. But you have to have goals for how many lives you are going to change. You can't just say, I'm going to go 12K. Well, what does that look like? How many lives do you have to change? Well, you have to break I want to double my rank. I want to rank up. What does that look like? Because I promise you, from the 1st through the 15th, you're going to fail at that goal, if that's your goal, right? No, our company, and if you were on the Zoom last week, I loved what Amanda said. How did she get where she is? VIP 800, VIP 800, VIP 800. Those are her goals over and over and over. Your goal, your small goals should not change. They should not change. Your action steps can, but they are not irritating. Like, you can't like say, well, my goal is just to work my business every day. That's not a goal. That's a choice. Okay. Here's a perfect example. Your goal is to save money. You may think, okay, well, I'm going to cut back in these areas. Well, let me tell you something. If you cut back in those areas and you fail to put money into a bank account, you won't ever reach your goal. All of those things have to go together. You set a goal, you want to save money. How much money? I want to save $100. Okay, I'm going to cut back on this and this. Well, okay, but it has to go a step further. When I cut back on eating out, I'm going to take that $10 that I'd normally spend on my lunch and I'm going to move it to this account. You have to have goals so clear that you know exactly what you're working for every day when you wake up. So for instance, on my calendar, I have written down what my goal is for this week. My goal for this week is to find 2 more people, not because I need them, because my goal is to go change 2 more lives this week. And hold on. Yes, I have on my damn pajamas, but hold on. I want to show you this because this really, really helps me, and it helps me feel good about myself, y'all. So I want 4 more promoters by the end of the month, 4 more customers by the end of the month. I want to change those lives. Those are not people I need. Those are people I want to find and I want to inspire, right? That's my goal. But what you have to have every day is your action steps. A lot of you are confusing your action steps with your goals. So what you need to do to decide tonight before you go to bed, it is the 20th. You need to decide what your goal is by the end of this month. Put an expiration date on it. It doesn't mean if you don't hit it, you're a failure, but give yourself an expiration date for your short-term goals. Then you need to go and you need to say, okay, what do my action steps need to look like every single day? What do I need to commit to every single day? So here's an example. I'm going to post and do birthdays. I'm going to read for 30 minutes. I'm going to journal for 30 minutes. All of that, and let's be real, I don't really journal for 30 minutes. It's more like 5. All of that's going to take me maybe 40 minutes. Then I'm going to intentionally interact. And here's what I'm thinking, and here's what I'm hearing in my head. I'm busy. I work all day. I have 24 children, right? I'm hearing it. I know some of you are thinking it. Stay with me, okay? I'm going to intentionally interact. I don't pee or poop without my phone. I don't. If I'm in a restaurant, give me my phone. I go and I take it to the bathroom with me. Why? Because I can intentionally interact while I'm peeing. You want it bad enough? If you want it bad enough, you'll have that plan. You'll have that plan and you'll commit to that plan, right? You are going to be on, I promise you are going to be on Facebook for 30 minutes a day anyways. You're going to be. Might as well make it intentional and carve out. You did it at the movies last night. I do. Ask Jay. I'm like, give me my phone. I'm going to the bathroom. Like, I'm not trying to be gross, but I get really excited if I do have to poop multiple times because I know a lot of intention is going to be on my Facebook, right? That's, y'all, that is where I went 200K is on the toilet, period. I'm going to tell you why in a minute. I am then going to mass produce something and I'm going to make 7 copies of it. What does that look like? Well, my best friend Emma can tell you what that looks like. It looks like coming home on a wild Saturday night and changing your clothes 7 times because your makeup's on fleek and you take 7 different pictures with your ring light. Boom, mama is ready to go. Don't have to get out of my pajamas for the rest of the week. And I have 7 pictures on deck ready to go. Okay. The next day, what does that look like? Coming up with 7 quotes that boom, mama doesn't even have to open her eyes till her capsules hit her system, but I have something ready to post. It looks like being prepared. You're never going to look at my posts the same. I'm just keeping it real. It looks like being prepared. It looks like having those action steps and them being non-negotiables. Those are your action steps. Your goals, like Em was saying, effort produces achievement. I taught my kindergartners that. I taught my first graders that. If you go home and you read every night, you can't get dumber. You're only going to get smarter. If you practice, you're not going to get worse. You're only going to get better. That's why you have to marry those action steps. The results will come. You have to trust us. You have to trust me. When I started in this industry, I didn't just magically get plopped here by a fairy and have a following. That's not how this happens. You earn it. You earn it one person at a time, day by day. Do you know how many times I go live on Facebook and my following goes down? I adjust. I'm like, I guess they didn't want to hear. I guess they don't share the same values I do on that. And I go and adjust. I don't care. I just know how to make those things and take them and let it inspire me to become better, to dig a little deeper, to educate myself on my audience. We're in control of this business. If you think that this business runs you, you've got to get over that. I'm not going to say I never felt like that. I felt like that for probably a year. I felt like this business controlled me. These numbers made me. No, I make these numbers. No, you make shit happen. You get up, you're in control. You decide how many people you talk to every day. You decide what you allow. You decide who you bring into your business. I straight up told a girl the other day, she said, I just think I'm going to have to say no right now. And I said, if you're going to say no to a phone call with me, you are nowhere near ready to be on my team. If you, and I don't, it's not rude. It's real. If someone can't even come in for a quote unquote interview, I understand I'm no one's boss. Please know that. I never think that. I always try to like translate it into corporate America because that's how I want to run my business for me. I'm going to get up and I'm going to show up just like my boss is going to fire me if I don't, right? And I thought, if you can't even show up for a phone call with me, how the hell, you don't even want me to friend you on Facebook? But damn, she had potential. She had a nice butt. She worked out. I'm like, you could post once and be 12K. Doesn't matter, right? It does not matter.
No way.
I don't know who that is. Sorry. What are you serving up? Okay, somebody asked earlier, what are the questions you ask people? These are the questions I stick to. Why? What? Like literally, why? What? Why do you want to do this? They'll tell you what you need to know. What is your goal? Like they will tell you all you need to know. If you keep it simple, keep it so stupid simple, let them lead the conversation. Like let them tell you, I want to lose my baby. They will tell you everything you need to know. Let them talk. Just go tell me more about that. Well, I want to work from home. Why do you want to work from home? Well, because I want to make, I want to be home with my kids. Well, what would that look like for you? Well, why don't you want to put them in daycare? How much would that cost? Just ask the basic who, what, when, where, why questions, and people will tell you everything you need to know to seal the deal and get them in the computer. The last thing I'm going to tell you, because I see it over and over and over, I see it sabotaging businesses, I see it poisoning brains, I see it left and right, is your excuse is somebody else's reason to get into the Millionaires Club. And I want you to think about that for a second. Your excuse not to get up and work this business is somebody else's reason why they're fighting to get into the Millionaires Club. You're too tired because you were up late with your sick kid and you've got to go to work. You don't know enough people. You don't have family close by. Your electricity's off. Freaking go to McDonald's and sit in the parking lot and connect to Wi-Fi. I had a girl talk to me tonight and she's like, well, I have $100, but, and I'm like, you don't want it bad enough. I was like, you don't want this. I had a girl bawling to me about to puke negative $400 in her bank account, and she figured it out. If people want this, they will let their circumstances and their reasons be their why. Do not tell me you're too busy. Don't tell me you're going through marital problems. Do you know how many times Jay and I have almost gotten a divorce in the last 3 years? Not like funny, haha, like legit. Do you know how many times my kid's been in the hospital? Do you know how many times I have not wanted to work my business? Do you know how many times that I've doubted myself? I get up and do this to prove myself wrong, to tell my own brain to shut the F up, right? To go out there and say, nope, you can do this. Guys, your excuses to me, and it's not me saying I don't care, because I do care. But if you will sit there and take your excuse and let it be the reason why you get up and you fight like a dog looking for their next meal to make this work, you will see things in this business that I can't even mentally prep you for. You will see yourself start to win. You will have teammates calling you hyperventilating and they can't even tell you how much their checks are because their lives are so changed. You will see screenshots of, like, I'm getting goosebumps. You'll see screenshots of a mama whose baby was in a NICU that has a college fund now for their kid. You'll see Christmases paid for in cash. You will see so much if you will get over your damn self, get out of your way, and let your excuses be the fuel to your fire. But that's up to you. Me and Em, that's one thing. Me, Em, Steph, Katie, Jen, like, we can't teach you. We can't teach you that. That's a choice. And I see it over and over again. I see leaders getting in their team chats saying, sorry, lots going on at home today. Sorry, I've been checked out for 5 days. No, if there's that much shit going on in your life that you can't even work your business, and it's not for me, it's for you, then you have to see like what's important to you. I just now watched a series on Netflix for the first time in years. And I watched it all in 2 days, mind you. Because I can't sit and watch TV. And I'm not saying you should feel guilty if you do. My point is my mind is always thinking about the next person's life I can go and change. I get up and work this business with intention, and I have weekly goals, and I'm so damn focused that like people say, well, how do you keep your mind positive? I'm like, it's not an option. It's not an option. Like, I don't do Target during the day. On a Saturday. It's not an option. I'm not going to get in my car and drive there. I'm not going to go and let my mind wander there. And if I do, I know immediately what to do. I know immediately how to refocus, guys. But here's the thing. If you don't have all of these things in place, you will never be successful. You don't have to know it all. You don't have to even know how to edit pictures. You have to be willing, able, coachable, and you have to be consistent. And if you can get up every day and you can work with intention, like intentionality is so important. And if you're busy, it's even more important. I'm going to leave you with this. A lot of you know my story. Just in case you don't, I'm going to remind you where I came from. A little over a year ago, I owned a daycare. There was 12 kids in my home from 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. every day. 6 of those kids were in diapers. If you think that I didn't think I was going to lose my ever-loving mind every day, you're wrong. I thought I was going to go batshit crazy. Like, I had to keep them fed. I had to keep what if one got a diaper rash? Like CPS, y'all, the state could walk in my house at any time, any day. I went freaking $80K on the toilet. Like, I'm not kidding you. Those were the times, the nooks and crannies in my day where I'm like, okay, I can send a message now. Okay, I can do this now. I was so busy. I don't really know how you could be busier unless like you were on like Survivor or something. Like, I literally had no alone time. You know, my kids walked into the door. The daycare kids walked out at 6. My kids have been here since 3, climbing the walls. And then we went to sleep at midnight after we disinfected the whole house. And I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning and did it again. I didn't want that life. But you know who I didn't want that life for more than anyone was my children. I didn't want my children to not have the freedom. I didn't want to be a yes mom. I wanted to be I get to choose mom. I have a bank account and I get to choose what we're going to do, what our days look like, what our after school events look like, not our circumstances. So if you're busy, like, save it. Like, save that. Like, is that your why? That was my why. I was so freaking busy. I don't even know how I survived. That was my why. Are you too tired? Like, if you give me your list of excuses, what you are is you're uninspired. You're uninspired, and you've got to go dig deep and find that why. Find that why that will have you on 4 hours of sleep. And not because I want you to like work through the night for me, for you, because my life is forever changed now. Forever. I own my own time. I can do what I need to do to pour into my team to change lives. I'm not done. Like, that's one thing you know about me and Emma. We're not done. We're nowhere close to done. It's not about the money. It's about the memories, the freedom. Like, Emma doesn't even have kids yet. I mean, she'll never have to know. Think about that, mamas. She'll never have to know what it feels like for somebody else to do her kids' homework with them, or for someone else to witness her kids' first walk, first word. She will never have to know what it feels like for the babysitter to be like, guess what? Your kid tried avocado today. She'll never have to know what that feels like. How many of us know what that feels like? I know what that feels like for both of my kids. That right there is freedom. And if you don't fight for that for yourself, then if you're past that stage, if you don't fight for that for other women and men, like, you're in the wrong place, right? Get back to the basics, get back to why you're here, and let that drive your action steps every single day that get you to those goals. And those goals will compound, and then those goals written on your mirror will literally be in your rearview mirror, right? Because you'll be on to bigger and better things and changing so many more things than you ever thought possible. That's all I got, Em.
Okay, I will leave you guys with that because I think everybody is either crying or fired up, so I'm not going to blame. But we love you guys so, so much. Take the heartstrings that she just pulled and your why and throw your excuses out the window and listen to what I said about what you can do daily, about what you can improve, because you're the only person standing in your way. If you grow in all those areas and you stay consistent every day and you have that heart and you have that drive, you have full capability of being as successful as you want in this industry. You're the only thing standing in your way. So we love you guys. I will upload this on YouTube and post it for you. And I hope that y'all have a great night. Bye.